Are you an emotionally driven, emotionally vulnerable, emotionally communicative person, emotionally expressive? So this is a question I would love to
get your response on. So I've just had a conversation with somebody that's really inspired me to talk about this, because it's been quite a long time
since me, your chief rebel, has been online doing a video like this or a vlog.
And this is a topic that I am really interested in, because it's around how I sort of struggle with my emotional self in the world.
So I have come to understand, and through various, well, through my living my entire life, that I am a very emotionally driven person. I'm also emotionally intense. Now that is all extremes, you know, when I
feel sadness, I feel it really intensely. When I feel anger, I feel it in a quite a consumed way. But even when it comes
to happiness and joy and even the most trivial things, I feel that emotion really intensely. Now to me that seems normal. It feels very normal. And I was just talking to somebody, a lady called Amy Scullin, who is a mindset coach and human design expert, about how that intensity for us seems normal, for me seems normal, but for other people is quite difficult. And for me, it makes my life very rich. You know, there's this rich tapestry, this very visceral experience that I have of life. And I've come to accept that about myself. I struggled for many, many years to manage it because I was in corporate life. It was very stifling, it squashed me, and people found it difficult to process my emotional behaviour, I guess. Now, what I'm not saying is I'm going around screaming and crying and hitting people all the time, but I am very expressive about how I feel about things, and I find it difficult, in fact pretty much impossible, to lock that in, to hide it, and to not express my emotions. Now I'm normally pretty good at communicating it articulately. That was ironic. But what I'm not good at doing is hiding it and keeping it stuck in there. And what I've come to understand is that whilst I accept who I am, and I cherish who I am, actually, I celebrate who I am, and I understand that what I experience emotionally can be very challenging, but it can also mean that I experience a lot of joy and a lot of benefit and a lot of
real kind of intense extreme experiences in a really good way.
What I don't have to do so much of anymore is manage my own acceptance of that. I fully accepted that is who I am, and that's just how I process the world. What I do struggle with is managing other people's experience of that. So it isn't normal for a lot of people to experience things incredibly intensely. It isn't comfortable for people often, if you have somebody who's emotionally intense, to communicate that emotional expression. Some people need a run-up. Some people need to not be around it at all. Some people want to run away. So that's actually really hard for me, to manage people's expectations around how I feel and how I communicate how I feel is something I have to work really hard at. So that affects how vulnerable I can be. That affects the kind of relationships I can choose to have in my life, and to what degree I have people in my life. And it also affects how fulfilled I feel emotionally, and all of those things. So it's quite an interesting thing for me, and I'm really, really intrigued to talk to people and for you to tell me, do you have a similar experience, or do you find that really alien? Do you find it really hard to manage people who are emotionally intense? Do you is it not resonating with you to feel things intensely? Do you kind of go through life in a fairly, level, a similar level, or do you have, real highs and lows and then just like a steady line in the middle? Is this resonating with you, or is it actually doing the complete opposite for you? I really, really would like to know. Come and talk to me in the comments, and let's have a conversation.